What's happening, good people, good people?
Hello.
We're here with you. We're walking in the bar, and I'm Mr. 100.
And I am Rhonda.
And we're going to take you into a world of professional business. We're going to have different individuals from different backgrounds coming in and have a great conversation.
We're going to throw out some topics to them, and we're going to get their perspective from 4 different walks of life.
We got to make sure y'all tune in so y'all can get all the good things and bring it to you as we're walking in the bar.
Yeah, so I guess we want to introduce first and foremost the people who our cast is for the evening here. So we'll start off with business owner, Miss Marcy, also owner of the Flywire, everybody.
Right? Then we have Miss Pam Curtis, the queen of Park Heights. Miss Pushing the Vision.
And then to her left, we have our conscious poet, Mr. Kontrahdiction.
Yeah. And last but not least, the actor, the model figure, the speaker, the motivational speaker, Mr. Rick Palmer Jr.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have set the scene with our 4 individuals that we will be chopping it up with this evening. And when we come back, we're going to kick it off with some hot button topics.
Hot button. So make sure you stay right here with us at WMediaNetworks.com for Walking in the Bar.
We are back with our episode of Walked into the Bar. So before we went to commercial, we talked about the concept of this, where we have an author, a business owner, a poet, and an actor that has walked into the bar. And now we're going to throw out some topics that are going on right now in media, and we just want to give their individual perspectives from their own lanes of how they feel about it. So to kick it off, we're going to talk about something that's local. Right now, Sony Pictures is filming the 12 O'Clock Boys here in Baltimore City. They have penned Will Smith, and they also have Mr. Barry Jenkins, that is the producers of the 12 O'Clock Boys. Right now, they have pulled in Chino, as we all know about Baltimore City's own Chino, who suffered a gunshot wound to his head in 2016, but he has also been the face of dirt bikes here in the city. And then they're also bringing in Meek Mills.
Yes, that's cool. Meek Mills.
Yeah.
Philly meets Baltimore.
Philly meets Baltimore. So as you may be aware, Councilman Pete Welch had pitched the idea of putting together this dirt bike park here in Baltimore City, and it was met with a lot of resistance. So our question that we're going to pose to our 4 guests this evening is, do you feel like this movie is going to change that perspective or that negative tone that has been hanging over dirt bikes here at Baltimore City? And then also talk about your thoughts on this dirt bike park. Will it ever happen or no?
Or should it?
Well, I'm going to say I love the idea. I love the idea of the movie. And it's going to change for the better, but the people who are against it, they don't matter. They don't matter. It's the people who are for it that need to really advocate for it.
Well, I will say personally that I actually have the pleasure of being on the show, on the film, working hand in hand with the producers there. Also had a chance to be on set with me, and Chino. They're both really great people, whatever, real down to earth. And I think that the way they're doing this film will actually bring not only the dirt bikes into a positive aspect, but it will also put the city of Baltimore into a positive aspect too, because that's all they know about the water. So from The Wire to now trying to show Charles Top Boys film.
Can I interject? You know, a lot of people don't know that the director is the one who did that won an Oscar for, what was that, Moonlight?
Yes.
And everybody in the industry says that the way he captures images and emotions and writing is chills in your eyes. So it's going to be a superb representation of all of it. We need something to brag about.
We're going to celebrate.
We need all the things.
But then at the same time, I have to be community, but also the devil's advocate as well when it comes to, I'm a big supporter. I'm a big supporter. I used to ride four-wheelers. So I'm a huge supporter. But it's the insurance, I would say the insurance that so many officials bring up. Who's going to insure? But my thing is, y'all don't bring up the insurance when y'all have these events down the Royal Farms Arena for white people. So I'll be honest, invest into our men, our kings, our rulers, our households. I'm big on that. So why not invest in it? We have a lot of open space in Baltimore City that's not being used, that's owned by the city, and that they can get sponsored.
And I'm going to ride with park. And some people are not going to go that ride, and there's some people that are going to feel safer to try there and get the support of their friends.
So that's what I think that makes it all that much more better to have this opportunity, because like you said, they're going to still ride anyway.
Regardless.
Even if they see the police, they try to elude the police and say, hey, I'm riding, chase me, or whatever. But if you have a park here, and it's somewhere, it's like a recreation center, it's somewhere for them to go to, convene, or whatever, have a good time. They might have cookouts or whatever out there. I just think it's a great opportunity because you're giving them an outlet other than what's in the streets today.
And it's our culture. It's part of it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, I'm dangerous with it.
And it's funny though, saying it's females though. I didn't say it was guys, it's females. They coming out there, seeing dudes on the bikes, and they be on them. They be on them too. Like they be cotton with it and everything. And I be like, dang, you go girl.
I think speaking of culture, I think the part that a lot of people had issue with on social media was me playing such a big part. A lot of people felt like they should have put maybe somebody from Baltimore more on the spotlight. But again, speaking of culture, it's still Philly culture. So I think it's kind of good to see both of the cultures united in something, right? Absolutely.
This is what's and he was one of the first to really put Chino on the spotlight.
He supported Baltimore with signing artists.
Yeah, he got some of his endorsements, and I got him in the other world with their rights, like not just
Monsters,
he got paid. Chino
yeah.
got paid over that. He adopted
and I believe he signed artists for Baltimore too, so you're right.
I know he just
Skull.
yeah.
Skull
They got a song together.
If he's living, I mean, I feel like if he's living a lifestyle that's obviously trying to bridge, you know what I mean, the gap, then why not do a movie that also bridges the gap?
Philly is similar to Baltimore too.
Do they got club music?
That's home.
Philly got club music? That's Baltimore. You good? They cousins. Yeah, they cousins.
Club music, bids.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
They more souls out. That's my daughter like.
There's no shit you can do. Yeah.
Do you guys think it's the perfect time for you?
Yeah, it is a perfect time. It's not too late. You know how some movies come out 20 years after the fact, and it's a reminiscence. You know, the kids are still involved. And every man I've ever met has been a dirt bike rider from Baltimore. So they can reminisce.
I knew this stuff came from somewhere.
Well, anyway, no, it's right on time. Especially with Chino. All the tragedy that's part of his life, and he deserves it. Anybody else could have went astray, and he's staying focused. Because after him getting shot, his brother got killed.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
a big
guys, we're going to jump into the next question. That was great. The next question, when it comes to homicide, Is anyone safe?
No.
Whether celebrity or citizen. We just had a situation with, of course, Angela Simmons.
Somebody
child
safe.
star.
You said safe.
Safe, yeah.
Yeah.
President.
Shit, man.
Secret Service.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe in media. I don't buy into it. I came from out of town. I feel like I lived in different parts of the city. I never run around in fear and believe that, because here's what I know. Politicians run every campaign off of fear of crime. If there's no fear for crime, there's no platform for politicians to run on, right? So you gotta understand the propaganda machine, right? So like, I don't walk around in fear because like, I understand what it really is. Like, I don't believe, I guess maybe in like remote towns, we have remote situations that are like 1 in a million that you probably shouldn't fear. If somebody's gonna walk in your school and shoot it up or something like that, that's crazy, but like, there's nothing you can do about that. Like the idea that like, there's more crime here, more crime there, like, when you have more people interacting, you have more situations where tensions are gonna rise. As long as you don't have no crazy type stuff going on yourself or set yourself up in a crazy way, I don't believe there's more crime here than anywhere else. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just what's publicized because it moves the issue. But there's just as much homicide, rape, murder, if not more, theft in any neighborhood. Like what neighborhood we're in America. Where you gonna go? Yeah, where you gonna go where that doesn't happen?
American culture. Now I agree with that. Living in fear when you know you're doing the right thing.
Right.
But like you said, like a lot of stuff happens. And you personally, shit happens.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of if everybody's safe, I don't think meaning everybody is going to be homicide. But in this city, in our culture, you are 2 steps, 1 step, 3 steps removed and impacted by that in terms of your family. Being people's choices, and we don't always know people's choices and lifestyle. Like even with Angela Simmons, obviously her fiance was part of something that he was murdered this weekend at his house, shot to death.
And let us even pitch out the Ferguson supporter, Miss Melissa McKinney's, where her son was found hanging from the tree in their yard, and the police have ruled it as a suicide. But Mama says, no, that's not my child. So
He wasn't like that.
Exactly.
And they said people was watching it.
And it's very unfortunate in our city, especially with certain communities. You know a murder victim or somebody else made it.
Murderer?
Right.
No, just to speak, because it just recently happened. But like I'm ready to do 16 and 13-year-old sons. You know, like Xavier Malachi. And I had been a teacher at an all-boys middle school. And just recently, one of my former students and I posted about this. 13 years old, Montreal, and I hope I didn't want to tear up, but as I posted, I just wasn't a teacher because of a degree. I said, and as I posted, I said, let me tell you something. I had my students even on the weekend on my time, to football games, basketball games, to museums at my house, teach them how to eat and etiquette. So then I even stated. I knew a song that motivated Montreal in the morning. Before he came to school, I knew even how he bit the bottom of his lip just before he played box with someone. Wow. He was 13 years old. 13 years old on Halloween. I mean, and truth be told, I'm already paranoid. I'm already paranoid about my own son. Yeah. I am. I really am. And then as one of my sons told me years ago, he said, Mommy, the police will kill me in front of you and then you can work with them. Wow. And I don't care that we pray every morning as a family. I cover them with consciousness. I teach them how to write poetry because I write poetry. I teach them about I teach them about growing up and being the man of the household. Not the man of the present household, no, yes. And then being the husband, being the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the first and not the last. I tell them, like, you were not born a slave. You were born a God, a king, a ruler. And I'll be honest, it don't even just traumatize me, but we all are traumatized in some kind of way. We are, and homicides can hit each and every one of us. Your son, your nephew can be walking from the library, can be walking from the store, can be getting out the car. I mean, it's traumatizing mentally.
Right, and it's real, and it's not just the current contemporary situation. Baltimore has been a very dangerous city. We always thought of it as a gang issue, not saying we traditionally had gangs, but a drug issue, but it wasn't just that. There was a lot of people who have been killed over the years, and we're numb to it because these kids are used to it, and these kids are great grandkids of killers and murder victims.
Right.
Not saying everybody, but it's in every community, every family. Not saying every single family, but every family has been impacted. And if they haven't, it's because their family kept them so they didn't know their extended family. And it's been part of our culture forever. That's why I don't allow people to talk bad about our kids either.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't let nobody talk bad about the kids because I feel like America is bred on the idea of cops and robbers, which is kill the bad guy. So it's like, I don't ever blame black people and black culture as if we're the only culprit. It's like everything about us is kill the bad guy. So when you see people start to have situations where they label a bad guy, be it because of money through drugs or whatever it is, right? Because again, we're not going to sit up here and act like cultures don't kill each other over stocks and things like that, or business deals gone wrong, right? There's just as much murder in other cultures as us. Yeah, in short, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, you ever watch Snap? You ever watch Snap? What kind of women are on Snap? Do they have weaves? No, they don't. What kind of women are on Snap?
No, I know.
You know, so it's like, we're not going to act like crime is unique to black culture. Crime is American. It's American. White people, black people, Asian people, Spanish people, anybody you put in America is liable to commit or deal with crime because that's what capitalism creates.
Let's talk about that, guys. Let's take a break, but let's say crime is America.
Yeah, crime is America.
And also, Marcy said that we're numb. So we're going to stay right there. That was a great topic, and you guys did a great job. We're going to take it to a commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What's the longest break?
You got it.
Man, this shit look like an abandoned warehouse. Hello. April.
These white people show up.
Oh shit. Henry Jizzles. Hey, what's up, baby?
Get this missile out, baby.
What you doing here, man?
Yo, listen, I don't know, somebody told me to meet us here right now. We're supposed to be doing this new show, and it's supposed to be in this building, but it don't look safe.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know I'm a G.
I had to call somebody and give them the address and let them know where I was going to be at in case some shit go down. They know this was the last place I was at.
Y'all ready?
Facebook.
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Oh, shit. You was on a milk cart. Where the hell you been at?
I've been around, but we gotta get this show for
Somebody told you was the district manager.
live fire too.
Is that true?
Shut up.
You was a regional buyer for Rainbow.
We're gonna go ahead and get the show, find out where this room at, and now we're going to the thing.
All right, come on, man. Let's get this shit over with. Cause
Leave you hanging?
the quicker we get it done, the quicker we can leave.
So is this it for the people? Two, go. All right, so we are back for
like we never left.
Walked into a bar. And for those that are just tuning in with us, we have the lovely Miss Pam Curtis, author and founder of Pushing a Vision. We also have Miss Marcy, business owner, also known for the Fly Wire. We have our conscious poet, Kontrahdiction at the table.
Snap.
And then we have the actor who we just learned will be showing up in the 12 o'clock boys, Mr. Rick Palmer Jr.
Pull it back, Marcy.
Alright, so before we went to commercial break, we were touching on a pretty heavy topic when we talk about homicide. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit. So in baby mama drama,
men versus women on this one.
Let me take my jacket off.
Yeah, you got the loose, bro.
Go ahead. So in the news, we have seen where Chris Brown and the mother of his absolutely adorable little princess, Royalty, have been going back and forth in court. So the thing that has been proposed is that Chris Brown is saying, yeah, I'm not going to be able to cut you that $21,000 check a month, but I will buy you a home. So ladies, let's talk about what do you feel like when we talk about custodial issues and child support? What is more important, time or the financial support? And then if you was in those shoes, would you be wanting your monthly check to take care of expenses, or are you thankful for that nice little home over you and your child's head? Let's get into it.
That's an easy answer. Both in terms of time. Time is most important, but your child struggling is an issue, period. Your child shouldn't struggle. I mean, if everybody's struggling, then you struggle. But if someone's in a position to make sure the child has a stable, positive environment. Now, I would take the house because that is wealth. A home. Put it in my name though, and I can own it.
Oh,
property, yeah. Property is wealth. That's generational wealth. And 20-some thousand a month. Wow. Yeah. That's
about 250,000 years old.
Well, as for me, I definitely agree with this queen right here. It's both, and especially raising a young girl. I have seen a lot of women train their daughters to only. You don't have to worry about your father spending time with you because he gives you that child support check. You don't know what you are training her mentally to say, okay, he loved me because he gave me money. This is my daddy. Let me grow up to get another daddy. So like you really have to be careful with that. But first of all, it's that time. It is that emotional training. It is that presence that one feels. Because I'm telling you, my father, he told me and my siblings, I'm not raising y'all to be daddy girls. I'm raising y'all to be business girls. So yeah, so that you don't ever have to worry about someone taking money from you, property from you. And I'll be honest, but at the same time, he raised us to be business girls and so independent that thank God for, I guess, my mother balance when I was with my mother. So when I'm going into foster care. Because she said, no, I'm going to balance you out. Because, yeah, that's good to be like that, but at the same time, God called for you to be the help me and not the head of the household and not so independent as so many young girls are taught. Oh, yeah, let's give me your money and then I can build my own fortune, my own wealth, instead of doing it together with a partner. So you have to be careful with that. Fellas,
what I want to know is, do you think Chris Brown had an alternative motive by offering for the house versus the $21,000 a month?
I ain't Chris Brown. I don't know.
Come on, Breezy.
Hey. See, I think in terms of the amount in which she's asking for, I mean, $20,000 a month though for a kid. I mean, for one, she's not living that lifestyle. So I mean, it's not like they left each other or whatever when she was already living the same lifestyle as
And be
him.
clear, Chris obviously plays a major role in his daughter's life. Like she's with him.
Right. So that's the thing that I don't get. Is like, how do you feel comfortable with having?
They were married.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you was used to that lifestyle, but she's trying to develop herself into that lifestyle. Yeah, like a come up on his money. So yeah, I can understand. Like, yeah, I'll put you in a house. Yeah, you can do that. I ain't giving you no money every month.
He doesn't trust her to use that money for
It's
his
not even for the child, because he take care of the child.
It's mine.
So that's the thing I don't get. Like, if I'm saying,
It is for her
like,
own lifestyle.
I have full custody of my son or whatever, and me and my daughter's mom, we work together and make sure my daughter's great. So she never once came to me, like, she never once came to me on the level of like, well, because we're now separated or whatever, I need you to take care of the child support, whatever. She knows the child support, so that we can continue living the way we was living before. You know what I mean? But even if she did or whatever, it's like, why would you? I'm there with my daughter. I have her all the time. So from him, it's like him having her all the time. It's like, why you put me through this when I'm already present?
And she's not going to do without it.
So the question that I think you guys had about the time and the amount of time, I think, yeah, it is both, but it's more so time. Like, the child benefits more from time with the parent than the money, because sometimes they don't even see the money.
I agree with that, because if you're a broke father, you're a broke father.
Yeah, but
that doesn't make you a bad father.
The child will love you.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all can eat cereal together.
So it feels like that quality over quantity. Oftentimes, I know you can't put a price tag on time spent with your child.
No, you cannot. Broke fathers, rich
I'm
fathers.
that money can't give you that daddy. I'm hard.
So Marcy, I heard you say that you never took your child's father to child support. Can you explain why? Because I think young ladies need to hear that and understand that principle.
First of all, I can take care of myself. And I would not have a child with a man that was not a good man. Period. You have to qualify who you have a child with. You have choices. And both ways. And I knew how hard, I knew he will always be there for us. In my household, my mentality is I'm not with my partner and I have my house. I'm responsible for my house. And if I can't afford my dreams, I gotta downsize that picture I have. And work harder. And it's times when we both had similar professions and we were entrepreneurs. It's hard. So we had to maintain his house and I had to maintain my house, and we came together as a family. So if you make enemies, then that's a different story. First of all, if I was married to you and we were married, you were not going to ever be my enemy, because I don't have those kind of relationships. You got to go get through it. You got to really get through it to grow up and mature and say it's not all about me. It's about the bigger picture. It's about my family. And we get through it. And some of the times when I didn't get anything, I still held it down. And when he did sometimes give me money, that I was like, what? Oh, it was worth all the times he didn't have. I was like, okay. So you have to build good relationships with people who broke your heart or hurt your feelings, or you don't get along with them, whatever the case is. Because you made a choice to lay down with that person, marry that person, build a family with that person. And I know, because I talk about this all the time, me and my ex-husband are very good friends. We are family. No, we don't have any regrets. No, we don't want to be together. But family comes first. And a lot of people they say it but don't mean it.
That's the maturity mentality, though. Like that having that connection, that agreement together, and knowing that it's a bigger picture. Like it's more than just about you two and whatever. It's about the kid. Y'all have that mature mind to be able to make it work. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that screening process you had either to be able to pick the guy that's
So Rick, I heard you state that you have custody over your son, and then with your daughter, it's a joint situation. So how would you, and I don't know if this is your situation, but how would you feel if the daughter of your mother came to you and took you downtown for child support? Based off of this relationship, you're both co-parenting at this point. how would that make you feel, or how did that make you feel if that's your present situation?
That's a good question. Well, I think that I would definitely be hurt. I mean, because from not even a time of just birth, but like throughout our entire relationship, I've always been the one taking care of things. You know, making sure that we were good, not just to head the household, but just my genuine nature. I'm a giver, so even if I don't have it, I still try to give. So knowing how I am with my kids and knowing that I would give anything to give time, even if I don't have money, I would still give my time, no matter if it's TV or not, or whatever. I pick my daughter up 12 o'clock at night so that she can be with me. You know, that I would be hurt by the fact that she felt like she needed to do that. And I was a bit nervous when we went through the process of the whole joint thing, because I was like, man, I hope she don't stop this whole child. But I mean, when the judge asked and she gave an answer, I had my head down and she was like, no, we want to join. And I looked up.
You said Junior.
Yeah. I know, right? It's like that word. It's like they press that. And I looked at her like,
thank you, girl.
And I thank you for being transparent with that, because I think a lot of times when things do not work out between children's parents, that seems to be the go-to. You know, so to hear from a male's perspective, a male that's involved with the child, like think about if the shoe was on the other foot. And again, quality versus quantity. So thank you for that transparent moment.
All that stuff is trust.
Yep, certainly, certainly.
Listen, we're going to move right along. We're going to move into a little bit of politics. We want to talk about Generation X and the millennials being all for the ballot, or are they going to show up at the polls? What's your feeling? What's your thoughts?
So we pulled up some things, and we took that. Let's just talk 3 individuals in particular that's representing Generation X. We have Marilyn Mosby, we have Brandon Scott, and we have Joshua Harris. So these are kind of like our millennials and our Generation X individuals that are represented on the ballot. And trends are starting to show that those generations are more book-bred individuals. They are anti-Trump. They are more wide thinkers outside of the box when it comes to politics. But, you know, we have all this representation on the ballot, but as my co-host stated, are we going to show up tomorrow, which happens to be Election Day?
Well, some media said that the young voters have showed up greater than they have before, yeah. So, and then there have been moments, especially when Diddy first started, Rock the Vote, Voted by, you know, there's been waves of the youth, you know, showing up. So, pre-voting, early voting, they have shown up more than they had in the last election, like past 100%, some places 300%. So, I mean, here, I can't tell you what Baltimore ever do until they show up. Baltimore's a different beast.
I agree, but I think that the millennials are kind of like what you are fed up. So I think that with them fed up, that they probably will show up and they probably will try to make change, even if they don't understand. So yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna be out there tomorrow, so we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna probably be out there with all my colors on, but like, hey, come on, y'all, we coming for the polls, we out here.
Well, my personal experience for the primary, my son is 19, this was the first election he could vote. And we went to the poll, he said, I'm going to vote. And he's one of those people, I gotta say 3 times, if it's something that he doesn't want to do. He said, you know, he already agreed he was going to vote. But it was his initiative on that election day to vote. But he said, before we go in here, I gotta do some more research. So, and stuff that he didn't understand, he asked questions. I mean, he knows he would probably get slapped in his sleep from an ancestor if he didn't vote, because my family is involved. I never not voted. I don't care who's voting. I never not voted. Right. So that's like, but that not voting.
No, personally, I got to a point in politics where I see no need for vote. And this is just me, but I always ask people, what is the purpose of voting? So people always say, oh, it's because we need rights, we're going to do right, blah, blah, blah. So I look at statistics, because numbers don't lie, right? So Asian Americans, great example. I love Asian Americans. Asian Americans don't vote. They are the lowest turnout of voting Americans. Guess what they have the highest rate of? Graduation, income, ownership. And so in my brain, if I say if voting is so important, then why are the things that we are after as a community being acquired by people who don't participate in the voting system?
Can I say something? It's easier for us to vote than it is to be united.
Absolutely. So I have two perspectives.
That's deep.
Right? And my two perspectives are, if voting is so important, then why are we voting for black people in the black caucus, in the black system? If voting is so important. And second, if voting is not important, which is what I take up, then what would be more important than voting, right? Because politics to me is a game. Politics is the smoke and mirrors, right? Like capitalism is what moves the system. Money, not the idea of who you vote for, right? Like as long as you have campaigns that have to be funded, it will always be a money game. And if it's always a money game, then it's tiered, it's classism, right?
Yeah.
So if it's classism, and I have the idea of systemic oppression, I'm not saying there's a dictator, right? Because what happens is rulers get smart. They figure out like, hey, we can't do a dictatorship, right? Because people realize like, hey, this guy's a dictator. How do we stop a dictator? We overthrow him, right? So the more complicated form of a dictator is systemic oppression. What that means is you can't identify one culprit, right? So we can sit here, we can argue politics for hours because it's not real. It's a circular argument where it's like, you might key on to like, oh, police, and then you get the judges, and then you get the like politicians, and then you get to the money, and then but eventually all you talk yourself in is circles, right? And you never get down to what the issue is. And the reality is, as long as you have capitalism, you'll have classism. As long as you have classism, you'll have oppression. As long as you have poor people, right? Like every big book teaches you, that's why the pyramid is so important, right? You'll always have more poor people than rich people, right? So the way that you control the majority of the poor people is you break them down, right? Like you got the left and the right wing, right? What are the left and the right wing attached? The same fucking thing, right? Like there's no difference, it's just a left and a right wing. We're not talking about different creatures or different structures, we're just talking about the same beast on different sides. So Democrat or Republican, the idea of 3 billion people having to identify with 2 political ideologies, right? So in Baltimore, we're gonna have 600 to 800,000 people governed by one person. Like the idea that we can even give one person that much control is stupid.
Wow.
The whole system is flawed. So it's like, I
am involved from a, what do you call it, skeptical attitude, period. But I'm so involved with politics.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? You want to hear what I got to say. And I represent a lot of people who would never have the opportunity to say. So my thing is, until I'm not going to ever take a chance by not voting. If it doesn't count, my vote don't count. And my vote cut. My vote
I have no issue.
So I'm going to vote, but I'm going to speak for people. And I never tell people, oh, I'm speaking on your behalf. I feel like I'm a Negro ambassador in Baltimore, and I wear people toe to toe, and I say to them in their face, like I haven't met Hogan, but I spoke to the people who run every year, every 4 years, every 2 years, and I say stuff that only somebody who cares about us. But the thing is, the politicians that represent us, I'm not saying they don't care, but they're not connected to us.
They're bought.
Right, they're not connected to us. So,
I know you got a great point.
And now being on both sides, I would say being on both sides, the strict community when it comes to, okay, it's cutthroat, y'all is coming out community when it's time. Just like I said recently, somebody posted, oh yeah, y'all don't forget about Sheila Dixon and also Catherine Hughes because they was out there going to riot. And then I simply said, I said this. I said, and then soon after, they announced that they were running. Soon after, they announced that they were running. So then, And truth be told, I strongly believe in women being in position and then actually being women in position, not trying to play the men's field like, oh yeah, you don't have to be nasty to be cunning. No, be a lady and then know what you possess: authority, influence, and power naturally. But when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, I'll be honest, and I know we may clash on this, but I'll be honest, I've always been taught, watch how Democrats keep you broke, because they keep you asking, because that's how they keep their jobs. That's how they get funds that aren't accounted for. Just like the school system. Oh my goodness, Governor Larry Hogan gave so many millions to the school system, and had to give it back. And listen, and had to give it back because he said, why y'all mad at me? Because I'm holding y'all accountable because the other governors did not question. But guess what? Y'all kids don't have heat in your school during winter time. I mean, they had coats on. And then in Trippy's house, I just found out recently that Dr. Martin Luther King is on the list to be closed as of next year because of years before Governor Hogan. So I'm saying to myself, like, well, I'm parents stepping up and holding these officials accountable. And then on top of that, I don't like the way that society thinks that black people are so surface. And when I say that for this right here, y'all think you're so surface and you're so impressed by artists and by actors that's who you get to persuade us to vote. Why do you have to persuade us by artists that never been in Baltimore City? Never seen the struggle. And I'm right here about those strategies.
Before you answer that, I hate to do this. I'm like double dutch. We gotta jump in, we gotta break for commercial. But when we come back, we are gonna resume because this is a hot topic right here.
Guess what? I heard we have 2 points. Should we vote or shouldn't we vote? So are you going to the polls tomorrow, whether you're Generation X, Millennium,
baby boomers, or anything else? Are you gonna vote? All right,
we'll be right back.
Right back after this commercial.
I don't think it's
Woo!
We're back like we never left.
Listen, that little last segment was heated, and we were on behind the scenes because Kontrahdiction was going in even further with his thoughts. So, that was deep. Make sure that you're following all these lovely individuals on Instagram. So while we have a break, because you are influential in the community, how about you shout out your social media handles so that folks can follow up with you after this live taping?
All right, mine is easy. The Fly Wire.
Hey.
All right now.
Mine is on Instagram, pushing the vision, hashtag pushing, P-U-S-H. I'm not P-U-S-H-I-N-G, right, V-I-S-I-N, pushing the vision. Pam Curtis, on Facebook too, Pam Curtis, pushing the vision everywhere.
Right. Kontrahdiction, Kontrahdiction.
Mine is on Facebook, Now Virginia, and on Instagram, it's The Real RPJ Official.
All right, so again, make sure that you're following these folks. Oh, what's your Instagram, Dave?
Yeah, Dave, I got various ones.
I got about 10 Instagram.
Yeah, I got about 10 Instagram. No, you definitely can follow me at I Love Baltimore.
All right.
It's I-L-I-E-E Multi.
All right, and then you can follow me on Facebook, Rhonda, no H, R-O-N-D-A, last name is Cox, as in Fox, but with a C. And then also on Instagram, rsvpem.ceo. No, I had a fax moment. And then my business Instagram is rsvpem. So now that we got that out the way, make sure that you're also following WPB Media Networks. That's the website, that's the YouTube, and that's the Instagram. And all of this that we've been doing this evening, right now it is streaming live. But after, there's going to be some edits, and then for those who are missing it, they can go back to the website and view this episode of ... Walked into a Bar. All right.
On demand. We have our own
Hello, Black Media Excellence.
So speaking of CEO, we're going to go into entrepreneurship. What do you guys think about entrepreneurship over being a blue collar employee?
Working for the man.
9 to 5.
You consider that blue collar?
I'm about to say.
We're a blue collar town. So
I know, but
shake the table first.
But you have a worldwide audience.
well, let's take it worldwide. White collar, blue collar, pop your collar, let's
Dirty collar, whatever it is.
Foolish.
Okay, all
I
right.
would say foolish because I feel like too many people are taught this crazy idea of being an entrepreneur is the way to work, and that's not the way it works. You get money by finding people who have money. If you're so egotistical, you think you're going to make more money than corporations that are pulling in billions. You're crazy. Go get you a piece of that money.
Yeah.
If you're about to graduate from MIT, right, you have a great startup idea. You're better off selling that idea for $2-3 million to Apple and give you a nice salary of, you know, $250,000 for the rest of your life plus residuals. Then you are doing what? Trying to get a startup with no funding, no bet. Like we have so many unrealistic expectations of entrepreneurship that don't exist in reality. You got 50 people that are one-person businesses that are all doing the same thing, and the best thing that they can do is no.
Okay.
Go get you a piece of the money that's really coming in. If you have a talent for graphic design, do your hustle. Hustle on the side by all means. I'll never tell anybody don't get money. Absolutely, you should hustle. Every wholesaler I know, every person I know has a hustle. But the idea of quitting a job, not getting a job so that you can be an entrepreneur and struggle, ridiculous. We're the only community promoting that. I promise you, none of my white friends are like, hey, I'm about to go start my own business. Yo, you better take that talent and sell it. We're in America. You sell your service or your product. You got a talent, you go sell that shit.
Okay, as an entrepreneur, I haven't had a job since 2005. But I never woke up and said, when I grow up, I want to be a boss. I never wanted to be a boss. I'm more of a creative person and an artist, and God put me that way. I have courage. But anybody that says I want to be an entrepreneur and they don't already have a success,
Right.
you have to be successful in something, and you have to have a base to say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I did not wake up and say, oh, I'm going to quit my job in a year because it happened. It just happened. I didn't plan it. But anybody that says, I do a lot of different things, but I make my money as a film promoter. I did not go to college. I always just wanted to be, get a good government job, marry, and be a soccer mom. None of that worked out, but I have not had a job since 2005. Anybody wants to be an entrepreneur, I'm gonna help them first. And go woo 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 and sell stuff. You want to sell stuff, but the hustle, I call myself, and my friends, because coming from Baltimore, if somebody calls you a hustler, you be like, I don't sell dope. Right. So it took me years to understand. Like all my friends from out of town were like, you are a born hustler. You are a marketing genius. You are this and that. And I'm like, I had to go home and say, Mom, what is marketing? My degree is writing, journalism, and I did not want to be a representative of corporate media because I was raised in a very conscious Black household.
Oh, right.
And I couldn't do those stories of we're the enemy on every. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So I just picked a safe route. And God didn't want me to be safe. But I swear I want a job. I'm tired of hustling. I swear. What happened to life? I swear. Anybody want to hire
God
a
said
brilliant,
no. That light went out.
brilliant genius. I'm a team player. I never
But you
call
can be
myself
the
a-
exception to the rule. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, generally speaking. But again, it sounds like you had an opportunity that, again, a lot of people aspire to situations they don't have the opportunity to create, right? Like again, we're humans. Humans are their circumstance, right? Like if you can go outside every day because you got a basketball court and you can shoot 100 buckets, go be Michael Jordan. Any of us could be Michael Jordan, given the same opportunity. But again, it depends on your opportunity. There's so many people, like you said, trying to force the idea
they want to
of
be
being an entrepreneur, being a boss.
And what I don't like is that people are trying to talk down on people who have jobs.
Are you working for yourself? I made $100 today. I'm a boss.
Yes.
Oh.
And they will make you feel guilty because, oh no, you working for the white man, or oh no, let me tell you, being an entrepreneur,
It's hard.
and let me tell you, it will cost you, let me tell you, it will cost you your sleep, it will cost you your best friend, it may even cost you your spouse, it cost me my spouse, it will cost you things that you think that are going to be there forever, and go like, no, I'm shifting you, but I have to renew your mind because you are so stuck in this mindset that you need everyone to make it, and the only person you need is me.
Right.
And so I'll be honest, I give it to the entrepreneur, but and I also give it to the person that works 9 to 5.
I do too.
Period.
I hate
It's
when,
money.
I hate when if everybody's a boss, who's going to do the work?
Exactly.
And a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but
All
they don't
these
want
sheets,
a
no
boss.
idiots.
But every client, every customer is your boss.
Right.
Okay, yo,
So
let me ask you,
yes.
that's a big fact.
Yes, right.
And if that's a problem,
That's wisdom.
So we've heard from the majority of the table, but I'm interested in what the actor slash model. That's a different hustle. That's a different hustle. That's a different hunger. That's a different grind. So what is your perspective?
Get on the dirt bike, son, and pull.
I can't ride, y'all. I want you in the pool.
All right.
I can't ride. So good. All right. Well, thanks for giving me the platform. But I think yes, it is tough. But I never once downplayed the working person because I was there. I used to work at University of Maryland for 8 years or whatever. And before transitioning to being full time, I always felt like it was more to me than working a 9-to-5 job. Like, of course, it was the benefits there. My family survived the benefits, and my spouse at the time, she was understanding of the fact that I still had this other lifestyle that was pulling me from the corporate world or whatever, and that it was something more to what I was actually doing. So yeah, the money was there, the benefits was there, they didn't have nothing to worry about or whatever, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing what I was doing.
Right.
So like he said, it was the opportunities that was presented that pulled me away from the corporate world, and I haven't in that sense. However, I still, yes, I go and I'm doing multiple gigs. I'm doing promo modeling. I've done the part-time work or whatever as a waiter. I'm still like every so often doing different gigs as hosting and stuff like that. So it's a continuous grind. And my son can attest to this, is that I come home sometimes, he rarely even see me. I'll just come in, kiss him, hey man, good night. He be like, but he don't see me, then he'll call me and be like, hey dad, you alright, I'm checking on you. I'm like, yeah,
you
man,
better.
I'm busy or whatever. So, but I understand because I'm always gone. And that's the life of being in the forefront of acting. It's like you're always on the go. Because for them, it's a sacrifice. Because for the industry, it's like, if you can give up us your time, then yeah, we'll put you on. If you can't give us a yes, then it's like, we'll move on to the next.
next.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't want to miss opportunities that I think is a yes, but then knowing my own value, it's like, well, I'm not saying yes to everything no more. If I feel like it's for me, it's going to be for me, then I'm going to go ahead with it, and I'm not breaking my back, so now I get my sleep. You know what I mean?
Right.
So before, it's like, I couldn't get no sleep because I'm like, I don't want to turn this down because this might be the next. But now I'm like, if it's the next, it's going to come tomorrow when I wake up.
Well, I will say, people reward your passion when you make good decisions for yourself. When the opportunities come, you make good decisions. Let me not downplay my success as an entrepreneur.
Hello.
Because I have lived.
You got people coming out in the
Let me not downplay it. I always believe that I have courage and I have vision, and I'm a problem solver. And that's what makes a successful entrepreneur. I never ever was forced into a box, ever. I don't even know what that feels like. I'm like, every job I ever had was like, you do it like that? That's stupid. Let's do it this way. And if it improves and makes you more money, then they say, some bosses are dumb and they're like, oh, I just want it done this way and that way. So that vision and not knowing that was an exception to the sheep who are following the rule. Everybody needs innovation in any group.
And that's what
Yeah, that's what I want to piggyback on that so we can drop that. We're going to run out with that. Let me ask you, Contra said opportunity. Can we sell this CEO opportunity?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying. I mean, business owners are different than entrepreneurs, and that's what I think we forget, right? Like, nobody wants to be an entrepreneur. Let's be honest. All that means is you work for yourself. Nobody wants to work, right? Like you want to be a business owner. You want to just make money. You can't make money without money. So to me, I feel like the ideal gig is to take somebody else's money for work that's not hard or strenuous for you, right? When you have a gift, when you have a network or something like that somebody's willing to buy. Like you said, club promoter. If you can send out a mass text in like 15 minutes and you know you're going to get 300 people to show up and spend $20 a piece to come hang out with you, guess what? You should be a goddamn entrepreneur because you have an opportunity in the network that you should be selling to somebody, right? But the idea of like, yo, I'm about to quit my job, get out here and network and build this. No. You got to get some money. Money is the X factor in any industry you're trying to break into. You want to get in the auto industry, come in with some money. You want to get in the music industry, come in with some money. You want to get into politics, guess what? Come in with some goddamn money. So go work for somebody that can pay you either something that you're comfortable making or something that you're talented at so that you can make more money than the average person, right? Like that's your advantage. It's like playing a video game, right? Like you pick your class and like if you pick an elf, that nigga's smarter than the other ones, so you get 5% extra magic or some shit. That's what you need, right? You need, if you're a mechanic, right? If you got it, that's all of it. You pick a sniper, you gonna shoot a little more accurately. So like, guess what you gonna do if you pick a sniper? You gonna get a sniper rifle so you can shoot. You need to understand your advantages versus other people, and your advantages are based off of your circumstance. Whatever your circumstance is, that's what's going to give you the advantage. If you got enough time to go play basketball, go be goddamn Michael Jordan. You feel like it's that simple. Look at your situation. Don't compare it to anybody else, but figure out what you can do the most effective. And that's what you operate off of. And you want to be a business owner, not an entrepreneur. And you own shit when you got what? You ain't got no money, you can't own nothing.
And I think, guys, I think that you have provided such a well-rounded perspective on the whole phenomenon of entrepreneurship. And I think that it was a rich conversation because you have individuals that are in different arenas of it. Those who may not even like to be labeled an entrepreneur, but you're doing the damn thing in your own lane. And I think it's very important that you just set the example across the board, whatever it is.
Rhonda,
yes.
I think I'm going to change all my title. B.O. Business owner.
You up in there?
Wait, with the CEO. B.O. baby.
So love it. I have detected that.
I never call myself a business owner. I always just say I'm freelance.
All right, freedom.
Whatever it is that you're labeling it, just do it and do it well and unapologetically and without fear and watch it succeed. So guys, I smell some wings. We are at this amazing restaurant here in Baltimore called Pilates. Spelled plates, but it's called Pilates. And so the smell of these wings are letting me know that we are at the end of ... walked into a bar. And I cannot say thank you enough to our wonderful guest here. Again.
Wait a minute. We cannot end this thing without all of us pulling our bikes back. Let's go 12 o'clock on.
Yes, so again, let us remind our audience who we had at our table this evening. We had Miss Pam Curtis, author and
remember that pyramid he was talking about.
Yes, the pyramid. We cannot leave out of here without shouting out April J. Come on. Go ahead, Queen. And also 7 Nazir. Make sure that you're following them at April J. Do you want to give another Instagram? Because you have like 3,000 of them. You have April J of Women Talk Live. April J, the number 1. At April J, the number 1. And then we have at 7 Nazir. N-A-Z-E-E-R. Did I get
And
it
the
right?
7 is spelled out, guys.
7, S-E-V-E-N, 7 Nazir, okay? And then of course, my co-host,
Mr. 100 Lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Y'all can find us at I Love Baltimore.
Yes. And then of course myself, Rhonda, rsvpem.ceo. We thank Pilates for hosting us this evening. We thank our guests, and most importantly, we thank our viewers for tuning in. Again, if you didn't get the whole show, wait patiently. It'll be up on www.wpbmedianetworks.com on demand. And make sure that you tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. as we have 4 new guests bravely sitting down at the table. Walk into a bar.